one by one, get that medical evaluation, get flown from here to Houston, Texas, eventually reunite with their family members. Those family members they've been keeping touch with via email and via phone calls occasionally. Butch Wilmore talked about missing basketball practice, talked about missing a majority of the last year of his daughter's high school senior year. He talks about just the mental anguish, the mental toll this assignment has taken on them. And that's, of course, the toughest part of this assignment. They've done space exploration before. They've gone to the ISS before. It's that emotional bond they have with their family members. It's the not knowing when they're coming back.
Faith, just stick with us here.
Actually, say that was the toughest part.
Yeah, the not knowing. And Faith, stick with us here for our coverage. We're coming up on 6:30 when World News Tonight comes on the air here in the East. We're going to pause here for a moment so to let the entire audience join us for World News Tonight. So stay tuned here in the East. We begin right now.
Yeah, you would have used this one.
A special report from ABC News.
Wait, it will come. They will show it in news.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, everyone. It is great to have you with us here at a very busy Tuesday night. Many of you here in the East and across the nation have been watching our live coverage here of the breaking news, the spectacular images from off the coast of Florida. Tonight, astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore are back on Earth after their 8-day mission that, of course, turned into 9 months in space. This was the first glimpse of their capsule returning them from space, giant parachutes deployed to slow their plunge back to Earth. You saw the initial 2 right there as we were on the air live, and then after a period of time, 4 parachutes to slow down the capsule to about 16 miles per hour at the time of splashdown. It's splashing down the waters just off of Tallahassee, Florida. You can see a perfectly blue sky there, just a few clouds, and as we were watching live, dolphins are actually circling the capsule. What a welcome home for 4 astronauts on board the capsule, including the 2 astronauts who spent nearly a year in space when they were supposed to be up there for about a week or so. It was just after midnight that Williams and Wilmore said goodbye to the crew staying behind on the International Space Station. The SpaceX capsule slowly undocking from the ISS, starting the last leg of their journey back to Earth, a 17-hour flight home. A thrill of an accomplishment for NASA tonight, for SpaceX as well, and all the scientists involved, and a huge sigh of relief for Williams and Wilmore's families, and really for all of us who have followed this story. ABC's Faith Abube leading us off at Cape Canaveral in Florida tonight.
This was the dramatic moment just a short time ago.
Yes, so.
And splashdown, Crew 9 back on Earth. Those 2 astronauts who spent 9 months in space after their 8-day mission was unexpectedly extended, finally touching down back here on Earth. The SpaceX Dragon capsule carrying Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore descending toward the landing zone. Parachutes deploying.
And there you see it on your screen, drone deployment.
As the spacecraft splashed down safely off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
There it goes.
A recovery team pulling the capsule onto a rescue ship.
And undocking confirmed.
That capsule undocking from the International Space Station in the wee hours of the morning. Their long-awaited arrival marking the end of a nearly year-long stay at the International Space Station.
And liftoff of Starliner at Atlas V.
The 2 astronauts launching into space back in early June, successfully completing the Boeing Starliner's first crewed flight. But that brief 8 to 10 day mission stretching into weeks.
They're working very hard on the ground to make sure that we will be able to come home before too long.
And then, more than 9 months after NASA sent the Starliner back to Earth unmanned, following a series of technical issues with the craft. NASA says they were never technically stranded, that they could have gotten them out in an emergency, and that they were waiting for this capsule to arrive. Wilmore, a father of 2 daughters.
My daughter's, I'm going to miss most of her senior year in high school.
While in space, Williams breaking the record for the longest spacewalking time by a woman, 62 hours and 6 minutes in the vacuum of space. On Sunday, the astronauts welcoming the new 4-person crew to the International Space Station. Their mission to finally take over and allow Williams and Wilmore to head home. And tonight, Sunny Williams' family excited to have her back.
I'm very proud of her for being such a role model.
I think she's inspired a lot of young girls all over the world. I think she's touched a lot of people.
And David, Sunny and Butch spent 286 days in space in those 9 months. A significant amount of time for space travel to take its toll on their bodies. The entire crew will undergo an extensive medical evaluation and they'll be flown to Houston, Texas, where they will reunite with their family members. David?
And we have some more of these pictures we just want to show here, Faith. And again, just to reiterate for our audience watching, Sunny Williams, Butch Wilmore are now back here on Earth, and Sunny Williams making history, Faith.
They really did. Sunny Williams spent a significant amount of time doing spacewalks during that 9-month period. In fact, she broke the record for the longest spacewalking time for a woman, 62 hours and 6 minutes. That is very significant. Of course, the entire Crew 19 conducting experiments, growing plants, growing food, helping research prevention of diseases and treatment of diseases. All of that will go towards furthering space exploration, David.
And we want to stay with these live pictures here. Faith, thank you. These are live pictures coming in from NASA. The capsule now on the recovery vessel. On what they call the nest. You can see the NASA workers there approaching the capsule. They're going to open the hatch here. It's believed that all 4 astronauts will emerge from the capsule one by one. And I just want to mention for the other families watching, Sunny Williams is home. She'll reunite with her husband and with her elderly mother, with her 2 Labradors, who are certainly going to be happy to see her. Butch Wilmore back, and of course he'll be happy to see his 2 daughters, one who's finishing her senior year in high school, the other in college. He'll be back with his family. She is a retired U.S. Navy officer. He's a U.S. Navy test pilot. And also on board this capsule, Nick Hague, a NASA astronaut, U.S. Space Force Colonel, and Alexander Gorbanov, a Russian cosmonaut. And we're looking at this live picture. Our team is going to stay trained on this. The moment we see these astronauts, we're going to show that image to you. If it happens before the end of this broadcast, we'll certainly show you. So stay tuned right here. And in the meantime, we're going to turn to the other news tonight, the high-stakes phone call between President Trump and Vladimir